You're Superb, back with another video, and I just got done watching Elemental, and this is a brand new Pixar movie. And I haven't seen a Pixar movie in theaters since Soul, so it's definitely been a few years. I'm not the biggest fan of Pixar, or just like 3D animation. For people that know me, they know me. But something about this movie was pretty interesting. To kind of give you my thoughts on the stories a little bit, I'm not going to go too long with this review. The story is okay. It kind of reminds me of like some Romeo and Juliet, or like some West Side Story, where you have all these different type of elements that are kind of separated. They all have their own way of kind of living and stuff like that. And they do a lot of interesting creative ways of displaying that throughout this movie, which leads us into our main characters. One that goes by the name of Amber. She is pretty much like the favorite daughter to kind of take over her father's restaurant and stuff like that. Very ambitious, it has a very hot temper as well too. And we also get introduced to Wade, and he is a water person, you know what I'm saying? And these two elements do not get along at all. It's almost like they have some type of like weird like racism. It's really odd. It's just like they're told from birth like you should never mix with these types of elements. And even though they all kind of work together in this one big city, they kind of avoid each other. And this is a love story at the center of it between Amber and Wade, but it also kind of affects stuff within her personal life and her family. But after watching this, I was okay with it. Normally Pixar kind of pumps out pretty generic, kind of forgettable animated movies. I think this one will be talked about a little bit more. Maybe it will get kind of brushed under the rug just because there's so many other movies coming out this month. I definitely think that it's going to get overshadowed. I think this is really well animated. The best I've seen Pixar since probably Soul, because Soul had a lot of interesting animation. I didn't really care too much for the story, but the animation still was unique within itself. Same thing with this one, even though it kind of is reminiscent of like something like Inside Out or just your generic Pixar movie. I think there's a lot to kind of pull from this movie, especially with kids watching this. It's surprisingly pretty mature too. They have some adult humor throughout the jokes and whatnot. The pacing, with it being like an hour and 50 minutes, that's only because they always put those shorts at the beginning of those Pixar movies. And this one was like Carl's Date or whatever. I didn't really care for it. I think that just was kind of a waste for me. But I understand that's like tradition at this point with Pixar movies. Just didn't care for it. The soundtrack is also very decent. That plays throughout the movie as well. I don't know exactly which song this was or who made this song, but it just flowed really well. And I gotta praise the animation once again, man. The animation was really solid. Did a lot of creative things as far as the elements. Had a lot of interesting side characters, and just how this whole universe kind of operates was very unique within itself. I gotta give Pixar some credit. Would I watch this again? Probably not, just because, like I said, that's most Pixar movies for me. It's just the rewatch value is really not there. But we'll have to see. I'm curious to see what this is going to do in the box office over time. If they're going to just instantly put this in like Disney Plus by like next month. Who knows? Definitely would recommend checking this out for yourself if you got kids or whatnot. Or if you want to wait till it hits streaming, you could do so too. I just think it's at least worth a watch to kind of get your own opinion on it. You might end up liking it more than me. I thought it was okay. It's watchable. That's just my quick thoughts about the movie. Let me know your thoughts. Till next time, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.